this even in here? Oh, I was looking for that. Have you ever bought a card for someone and then you couldn't find it later when it was time to mail it? Or maybe you couldn't even get the drawer open like me? Well, that's what sparked today's project, and I'm going to share it with you right now. Here we go, y'all. Well, hello and welcome to Pink Paper Peppermints. My name is Melissa and I am so glad you're here today. I hope you will forgive me for that cheesy reenactment. I would like to tell you that that drawer was not real, but in fact it was. So I am going to show you today how to make an organizer, and we're going to be using the papers and different pieces of the new Hello Friend collection, which you can find all the details in the description below if you are interested in that. And I'm just kind of flipping through the papers to show you some of them. I really love this color palette and these papers, and I think you're going to love it too. So I'm going to take this old book, and it was kind of falling apart. The binding was coming apart, and I thought it would be perfect. It's got a lot of scribble scrabble in it and that kind of thing. So I thought it'd be a perfect one to cut up and use for the cover of my organizer. So I'm just using a pair of old scissors to cut my book block out, and it is filled with beautiful vintage music pages. So I'll be setting that aside to use it later. And I was going to decorate my cover with some fabric, or the spine rather, with some fabric, but I couldn't really settle on one that I liked. So I decided to just set that aside, and for now I'm going to attach my inserts with some seam binding, and I will show you that in a little while how I'm going to do that. And this is the cover. Now, this is actually I'm going to show you the second part of this organizer first, and then we'll go back and show you the first part. And this is a blank cover that comes with the first part of the organizer so that you can type whatever you want on it. And I am going to be making a cards and notes organizer with this. So I wanted to use the blank one, and it's got a little verse on the inside. So I'm just going to crease that, and then I'm going to create the pages. And I'm going to show you how to make these fun pages where basically we're going to make 4 pocket pages all at once. So we're going to start off with 2 sheets of double-sided 8.5 by 11 paper, and again I'm using the Hello Friend collection, and we're going to fold it in half hamburger style, and we're creating an A5 page here, and that's about 5.5 by 8.5, so it's not exactly A5, but it's similar. And then we're going to take our other sheet of paper and we're going to fold it lengthwise, hot dog style, and then we're going to fold it in half again. And then we're going to wrap it around our first piece of paper along the bottom, and that is going to instantly create 4 pocket pages for us. And of course we'll need to sew up the sides or tape up the sides with washi tape or glue them. But then I wanted to do something else to my pocket page, and that's because I didn't want to write the date right on the pocket or write the names on the pocket, because I know that sometimes those things change or you want to add dates. So I thought of the idea of having a clear pocket. I'm going to use a page protector. So you only need 2 for what we're making, and I'm just going to cut the page protector into 2. So I'm going to cut the edges off, and I'm going to create 4 pieces of page protector. So the page protectors can be a little tricky to cut. I tried it with scissors, and that kind of just chewed it up a little on the edge. So then I got my paper trimmer out, and that seemed to work really well. You just want to hold it down with your left hand and then kind of start in the middle and just give it a little slice, and then go ahead and slice all the way through. And then I was able to do all of them like that. So once you're finished, you will end up with 4 pieces of page protector that we're going to then wrap around the bottom to create another pocket that's clear on the outside. And we're going to end up with 3 sets of 4. And that's going to give us 12 pocket pages, 1 for each month. And of course, if you have lots of cards that you need to do, then you could make 2 pocket pages for each month and just do more pages. So for my little booklet inside my clear pocket, I'm going to use journal cards from the Hello Friend collection. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute when we're working on that part. What I did want to tell you is when you're creating your pages and you're folding, you want to be sure to give it a really crisp fold. Use your bone folder and a scoring board if you have them, and especially with the plastic too, because these are so thick, they won't really lay right if you don't score them and fold them really crisply. And you can see how tight those folds are there. So one other thing that I wanted to mention was that once you get all your pages together, you're going to get quite a bit of creep or extra page sticking out from the thickness of the pages. So if you want to, you can trim that off. I don't do that because it doesn't really bother me, but you can trim that off and make it more even. So these are the journal cards that I'm going to be using. They come with text and they also come with a blank version and some polka dot paper. So I printed that on the back. And I wanted to use this label, but it took up too much of the rows. So instead I typed all the months on a piece of neutral paper, and I'm going to cut that into strips and put that in the bottom right-hand corner. So here's my little book. I've sewn it up with a zigzag stitch. Basically, I just sewed 2 cards together with a zigzag stitch, and there is my little typed label. And I'm just going to attach all of those with some adhesive in the bottom right hand corner there, so it doesn't cover up too much of the design, because I love these cards. And now I've got all of my 12 little booklets done. I put some white paper on the inside so I can type my dates there, and then I can change them out if I need to. And I'm just going to go in then and tuck one of these in each page for each month. And I had a few left over at the back. I think I did an extra page, and I had some empty pockets at the back, which will be good if I have extra cards that don't have a place just yet. And I'm just tucking my cards in now. I like to send vintage cards and note cards and that kind of thing. I'm just tucking them in the months where I think that I will need them. And then next I wanted to show you how I'm actually binding this in for now. And I'm using the seam binding ribbon and just tying it around the spine in a little bow. And you can see I've already done one there. I'm just doing the same thing here. I'm just tying it in a bow. And then that way I have flexibility to move it around, or if I decide that I want to tie it permanently into this cover, I can do that as well. So I'm just going to slip that right into that ribbon, and I've typed on the front a little title for that section of my organizer. And that brings us to the first part that I mentioned before. Part of this kit is a Happy Mail organizer that includes a tracker and an address book and a perpetual calendar. And this is a lot of fun. So you can write the name of the person you're sending things to, when you sent it, when they received it, and then any notes about what you want to do next time. You can also write your name and write what you received and the dates and everything. I like to do that because it helps me remember who sent me what when I remember to do that. But maybe I will now with this little book. So it has a perpetual calendar in the center, so you can write your birthdays and special occasions, and then an address book at the back. And I know it's very analog, but I kind of like having a physical address book where I can flip through and see names and addresses. And so there's room for phone numbers there too. And then at the back it has note pages, so you can sketch out maybe your ideas for your next Happy Mail package. Well, it doesn't do you any good to be super organized with all your cards if you don't know what you're going to send your friend. So you don't want to miss my video next in this series. I am going to be showing you a postcard mini junk journal with lots of pockets and goodies. You are going to love it. It's so much fun. But before we get to that, if you are playing along in our Bonanza game, which is for the grand opening of my new shop, then it's time to find out your number. So this is the Bonanza card. If you're not playing along with us, head over to my shop. You can get this card for free and play along and win a great prize if you solve the puzzle. I will be leaving this game up until May the 3rd, 2024, and you will be able to claim your prize up until May 4th, 2024. So if it's before then, go and get your free card. The instructions are all there. And if it's after that, be sure and sign up for my email, because we do games like this and free printables all the time. So I would love to have you join us there. And be sure and check out all the rest of the videos in the video hop. There are so many cute ideas waiting for you there. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a week filled with peace and grace, and I will see you next time here on Pink Paper Peppermints. Ah, so nice. But wait, where's my pen?